Okay. I think that's going to go right here. Wonderful. And my Red account requires me to write something. So I'm just going to put live. Won't let me go live unless that takes place in that manner. Okay. All right. We should be started up here on the Red account. There you go. 3, 2, 1. Namo tassam bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo buddhaya, namo dhammaya, namo sankhaya. Okay, so we are live across all social media platforms. I think everyone can see me. Okay. Please hold your questions for now, because everyone knows that when questions start coming in, I squint my eyes trying to figure out what they are. It is now 7:05 here in Toronto, Canada, and I just wanted to take a minute to debrief you all on my wonderful visit to Venerable Saranapala Sunday School. And there were, I mean, it must have been more than 100 kids. After this, I'm gonna publish the video where I gave a 1 minute speech, and then followed by Venerable Sanapala's own class of high schoolers, and their students got to ask one-on-one questions, and just one-on-one with me to see what their question is and how I approach certain questions and answers for them. And so I just wanted to make this video while my memory is fresh, and I wanted to update everyone what's been happening so far. Like everyone's just like, why is he in Canada and he's on this trip, and what does it mean for the people? So first and foremost, let me introduce myself to all of the followers and devotees of Venerable Saranapala, since the introduction was just recently made of, this is Venerable Chidao. He's from Florida visiting. He is on the biweekly panel discussion for Dhamma. He has 1 million followers on TikTok and so on. So not a lot of people really know who Venerable Chidao is. So I just wanted to make just an initial introduction. So I'm 37 years old this year. I've been a monk going on 9 years now. And I was born in Vietnam. I came here when I was 7 years old, immigrated in 1995 to St. Pete, Florida, lived every corner of St. Pete, never moved away from St. Pete, stayed there for now 28, 29 years. I went through school just like every other kid, elementary, middle, high school, and then subsequently 4 years in college at Eckerd College, degree in human development and a minor in business. I hit rock bottom in 2015 when my best friend passed away and my grandmother passed away, and I was really hitting rock low bottom, leading a suicidal path. And I was born and raised Catholic. My grandmother brought me towards the Dhamma. I shared that with your children in class. I think that's already been published on my YouTube channel. So I've had quite of a rough, not all the time it was rough, but between that timeline in college was when things did not work out too well, and I did not know the how to deal with some of the emotional impact, given the significant losses that I was experiencing. Growing up, I was considered a troubled child, always out and about, hanging out with the wrong crowd. Didn't really like to stay at home. I was one of those kids that was obviously defiant. So, the police knocked on my parents' door quite often. This particular visit, as I sit there and watch all of the kids, I realized that I wanted to bring the Dhamma to them, reinforce their faith and conviction and confidence in the Dhamma, because I don't want to see these kids going through what I went through. So I was sitting there looking at their eyes, how intelligent they were, the early praise and promise that these wonderful children have for all of us in the West, both Canada and the United States. So I rejoice in the visit. And there's more information about me in previous talks. I don't want this talk to be made fully about me. Um, in essence, I suffered just like everyone else, and subsequently returned back to the Dhamma to find the how to achieve peace. And it's been working out so far. Going on my ninth year, and using my ways of teaching to inspire young people so that they can know how to suffer effectively and efficiently. I taught in class with Venerable Saranapala that, yeah, suffering can be awesome. Suffering is inevitable, but knowing how to suffer, you suffer less, and you make meaning out of your suffering, and that you can grow and develop as the human that you are. Without suffering, I don't think a person can grow to their maximum full potential. And I hope that your children got all of that when I was in there for 1 hour. And that talk, once again, I believe is now published by now. And I think I have to change it was private view, but then I have to make it public view or something. It was on the iPad. Proceeding on forward for the rest of my followers is it's been a while since I've taught to a mass crowd. I believe the last time I spoke was at a Buddhist temple in Orlando to Vietnamese youths. And after that, I just continue my own programs with all of the counseling sessions. So comes now, I'm going overseas on a one-way ticket to visit my country. It's been quite some time. I think more than 8 years since my last vacation out of the country, and so it is a very much needed vacation to revitalize, re-energize the teachings, and to visit some more schools so that I can figure out what's going on. Anyone who has children or is a teacher at the time of this talk can reflect that it is difficult trying to meet the student where they're at with our ever changing, rapid paced world. My visit up here was not that planned. That means it was only 3 weeks in that I just said to Venerable Sanapala, "Sir, I think I'm coming to see you," without any type of goal, and just kind of go with the flow. He's always been an inspiration to me, given the frequency of his teaching, his style of teaching, and how on point he is. He has all of these programs that is going on with the monastic panel scholars, and always having the Dhamma discussions on a daily basis. This is quite impressive, actually. I know this because I used to do this every day, starting off with my own Dhamma program until the counseling sessions got really overwhelmed in the hundreds of one-on-one sessions, psychotherapy. So I could no longer, did what I was doing. I like passed out doing one-on-one sessions. So it was just a reminder of what it was like to do it daily and how much he is catering to the spiritual needs of the people. Um, there's a book in America. It's called Chicken Soup for the Soul. And I would describe Venerable Saranapala's frequent Dhamma discussion just that. It's to feed the consciousness and AKA soul of the people that is so hungry for the Dhamma, the teachings, to satisfy their hunger for knowledge in the teachings. And what they do with that knowledge is to sit and meditate and transcend their suffering. So I find that very touching for a monk like myself who came up with programs like-minded, similar to Venerable Saranapala. I wish I could clone me, so that we could constantly do this for all of you. But there's a very rare few of us in the West that is well versed in the Dhamma, is bilingual, easy to understand, straight to the point. And so therefore, as I am on my overseas trip, I like all of my followers to merge over to Venerable Saranapala. Now, this is not the first time where I've asked my followers to merge with another teacher while I am on leave. I would consider it as an administrative leave because I have to continue. Okay, so doctors and lawyers have to take what's called CME and CLEs, which is continuous legal education and continuous medical education. So, what I consider this trip to Vietnam, not only that it's a break that I need, but it is also continuous Dhamma education so that I become more effective and more efficient. So, my online presence will be quite limited as I would be needing time to meditate and to meet with senior teachers. That is across the board in Southeast Asia and awaiting even more invitations from lay people and invitations from monasteries. So what does this mean? So previously I gave 500 students over to then the late sister Kanti Kema, who passed away due to cancer. But before she passed away, we tried to merge in a very chaotic uh, chronological time of our lives where I was experimenting with a Discord server. And it got so crowded in there that I said, this is a great time for you to take on these students for me because I am now doing counseling sessions and I don't think I can juggle both. So anyone can reflect back over the past 3 years of the Discord server situation, which is now has been deactivated, and everyone went back to my YouTube. It's just about that. So it is no different than me telling you all to merge over to Venerable Saranapala for now and to discover his style of teaching and his ways of passing on the Dhamma, expounding the Dhamma. Um, he does have a PhD. He is a principal at the Dhamma school. Everything about him is just so impressive. So very impressive. He does missionary work. I would just let his website speak for itself. You can visit urbanbuddhistmonk.org, urbanbuddhistmonk.org, and I believe his missionary one is canada mindfulnation.org. Let me put that in here. Canada mindfulnation.org just to verify. Okay. All right, let me go down here for a second. As a monk with 84,000 teachings and websites, sometimes I do get it quite inaccurate. So, okay, mindful and kindnation.org. But I remember him saying yesterday. But all is available on the bottom page when you visit urbanbuddhistmonk.org, that you will find out all of his abundance of programs, never ending programs that he's got. And this way you all can be engaged. Okay, yeah, so it is mindfulandkindnation.org. Mindfulandkindnation.org. he's got podcasts on here too. Oh man, he's got everything going on. So again, to continue your spiritual needs and your sense of curiosity in Buddhism and the continuous education in Buddhism, I suggest everyone merge over to urbanbuddhistmonk.org. Most Venerable Dr. Saranapala. And I hope you all, go there and support him, ask him questions, keep him going, say, hi, I am a student of Venerable Jidao. He's going to be on continuous Dhamma education overseas. And he gave us your information. It is well founded that across all scientific measurement system that he is leading pioneer with the Dhamma across the board. Engaged Buddhism, clinical Buddhism, all of my standards he has fit. I went to say that we share very similar common beliefs systems and systems of operations in serving the people using the best available science. We know how to apply the Dhamma and to expound the Dhamma for all of you to understand, easy, comprehensive, concise. So I am just jubilant to announce all of this news to all of you. It has to be done now just because time is short and I know things are going to move 500 miles an hour like it has to be done now just because time is short, and I know things are going to move 500 miles an hour like it has been for me. And I know that all of your life is also moving fast, and there's no better way than to tune in to his programs. I mean, he's teaching every day. One of them is grab a coffee, grab your coffee and join him on Zoom and other platforms that he's got. He he obviously surpassed and superseded all of my own programs that is here. So I think you all have something to look forward to, and know that your participation and the anticipation is going to be quite jubilant and lovely and necessary for both sides of the table. And if you have children in the Canada area, to send your children to Dhamma school. I may leave a couple things out by accident because I'm just so overwhelmed and overjoyed by what I have witnessed, which will be published after this talk. But essentially, I said that he was cultivating a Dhamma army of students, our early praise and promise of students who was going to continue the triple gem. And you all will see the videos there after this. I mean, it's just so emotional and jaw dropping to see kids who are born in Canada, born in the West, to continue our tradition and heritage of paying respects to members of the Sangha. And I know that they're going to grow up and have relationships and get married and so on. You're just the whole wheel, the Dhammachakra Pawatana of their own life. Um, and like he says, like a boomerang, right? We teach them what they need to know. They go out, and then subsequently they will always come back with their family and loved ones to continue uh, to revitalize and energize and the continuous Dhamma education they need. Um, More on this, obviously, but for now, I have to go and grab a bite because it's so cold here that my body's working overtime to keep me warm. Let me see if I have forgotten anything. Working overtime to keep me warm. Let me see if I have forgotten anything. Um, I hope subsequently, after my travel overseas, that I come back with a very clear blueprint and the investment of the people, the values that the people see, how we need more programs like this. And, you know, it's funny because I don't remember seeing him have live sessions or about his Dhamma school. These were like programs that was not visible to me. Maybe I haven't really gone through some of the things that you all have seen amongst my programs, but we desperately need more programs like this in schools like this. It's ooh, it's beautiful, it's necessary, and the reflection on how our kids are going to grow up and how safe we feel when they actually leave the nest, and the philosophy that they operate on. And let me expand on this for a second. Is that everything is preceded by the mind, right? How they see their world is how they operate. If they see the world as unkind, mean, rude, nasty, um, then they're going to respond in an aggressive manner towards the world, unmindfully, uh, not informed by the Dhamma. So I like for all the parents to really, and students out there to really reflect on, we operate based on what we know. We can't do any better if we don't know any better. And it's like, what is in one's head to go forth into the world and live and treat each other and love and find fulfillment, right? I'm pretty sure most of the kid is going to fall in love, find the love that they want, and keep it the love that they have found. And for our generation, just to reflect on the breakups alone and the detrimental effects and impact of the breakups, the divorces, the divorce rates, and just the end consequences in midlife, or the consequences of all of that. Something that I have seen over the past 18 years of clinical experience in law and medicine. So I invite all of you who are new to me to go back to the 1,200 videos on my YouTube that I spoke about this. This is just a short, brief, concise paragraph about what I have seen throughout my life and how I apply my own education, experience, and knowledge to help all of you catch up and learning the how can we start in our own family unit, the how we can bring our community together in unity and peace, and how we can have a more kinder and wiser nation, no matter if it's Canada or United States or across the world, across all of the continents. Where Buddhism thrive, people will thrive. Where Buddhism prosper, the people will prosper. And as Venerable Sanapala myself walked down the hallway, and I looked at him and I said, yeah, "You truly are a general." You know which is he's a principal, so he's a leader. He is a spiritual leader, and make no mistake, he is a Dhamma general, a general in the Dhamma, directing the young minds, directing the parents. And he's only 51, and yet some of his students who have graduated become very accomplished individuals giving back to our community. It's impressive across the board. Words cannot describe how I feel to be in the presence of the teachers and the coordinators and the assistant principals and the many in people and management of the school. And the level of reverence and deep respect they hold him. So Tony, my assistant, was following behind me, and as you all recall, that he was coming behind me with the phones. And as he walks, literally, it felt like Venerable Ananda, for example, was there. As he walked, we can imagine as if the Buddha was in the room, a living Buddha was in the room. And all you see is just people just bowing to him in reverence of joy and respect. A view that I miss seeing, being in the West for so long, a view that is common in the East but not in the West. And I think that my scope nature practice of coming up here was I needed that splash of fresh air of that view that I miss so much about being in the East. The reverence and veneration that the people have for the monastic panel and monastics, the Sangha, Namo Sankhaya, and how your children are going to operate under the same philosophy. I think you all will really get a joy out of how I taught to your kids in the 1 hour that I have from 4 to 5 p.m., which, once again, I got to check it, but it's pretty uploaded by now. To see the excitement in the room and my views and how I thought about them and how they think about themselves and how they're going to proceed on forward, the beautiful human that they are, the early praise and promise that we just cannot wait for them to be upon graduation. So again, I'd like to conclude my talk for tonight. I'm pretty sure you all will have questions for me. You all can send your questions across my Facebook or YouTube. My email is the number one Vietnamese interpreter, the number one Vietnamese interpreter at Gmail. I can be reached by phone, but by the 30th, I will be traveling. Again, my phone number is 727-637-3490. 727-637-3490. I can be reached at any time. Please feel free. You're not bothering me. I love meeting with new people. And for Monday, there will be the book signing situation at the West End Buddhist Temple, Venerable Saranapala's monastery, where you all can meet both of us for the book signing. I believe there's going to be a Dhamma talk, followed by a short meditation session for all of you who've never met us before, who is anxious waiting to meet us, and the many questions that you may have for all of us. Come and meet your brothers and sisters and neighbors in the surrounding area of Toronto, in Mississauga, and let's have this wonderful last meeting before I leave for Florida and create a lifetime of memory within that couple of hours that we have with each other. Life is short. Make the best out of it. Come and discover Buddhism. Come and discover West End Buddhist temple and meditation center. Come and discover a wonderful, beautiful monk, Venerable Saranapala of Toronto. Once again, may you all be well, be happy, be free, and always be healthy. May the Dhamma protect you. May the Dhamma bring joy, everlasting joy into your life. May all of you be well. May all of you be healed, be a great significant. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that all that was published, like I said, like I promised, on my YouTube. So, and by the way, everyone, please merge over to my YouTube, as it'll be the one unifying platform that all of you can use and access at any time. I won't be able to carry all this laptop and iPad and all that when I'm traveling overseas. This is quite heavy, and the price of internet over there is quite hefty, especially the Wi-Fi, whatever 4Gs that they have in Vietnam. So one unifying platform will be YouTube. And again, YouTube for Venerable Sanapala also, the Urban Buddhist Monk on YouTube. Okay, thank you. That'll be the last announcements until the very next time we go live. Take care.